Welcome to this deep dive, into the career of the incredible Leslie Charleson and world of soap operas.
Yeah.
We're going to be exploring, what made her character, Dr. Monica Quartermaine,
Right.
so captivating for nearly 5 decades on General Hospital.
Hmm.
Especially for you, since you specifically requested this deep dive
Yes.
after her recent passing.
Yes.
We have this celebratory overview of Charleson's life and career.
Hmm.
But let's go beyond just the biography, shall we?
Absolutely. I think what we're really interested in here is how a role intended to be temporary turned into something so iconic.
Right. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
Charleson stepped into the role of Monica in 1977.
Yeah.
Already several years into the show's run after the previous actress departed. Not exactly the typical path to becoming a soap opera legend, is it?
Not at all. Most long-running characters originate with the actor from the start. So for Charleson to not only take on the role, but truly make it her own, speaks volumes about her talent. It's almost like inheriting a house and then completely renovating it to reflect your own style, while still respecting the original structure.
And what a renovation it was. Almost 5 decades playing the same character.
Wow.
For those of you keeping score at home, that's longer than many of us have been alive, she really brought Dr. Monica Quartermaine to life. The brilliant cardiologist always caught in the middle of family drama and romantic entanglements.
Speaking of those romantic entanglements, I think it's worth exploring what makes soap opera couples so compelling. Especially in Monica's case, her relationship with Alan Quartermaine, played by Stuart Damon, was notoriously turbulent. Their love story, full of breakups, makeups, and everything in between, played out over decades, keeping viewers on the edge of their seats.
It's that slow burn will they won't they dynamic, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Think about Luke and Laura from the same show, or even Victor and Nikki on The Young and the Restless. These couples become almost like real-life relationships for viewers. You follow their journeys, you root for them, you get frustrated with them. It's a very personal connection.
Exactly. And that's one of the key ingredients to a successful soap opera couple, that ability to evoke real emotions in the audience. It's not just about the grand gestures or the dramatic twists. It's about the subtle nuances, the everyday struggles, the slow buildup of trust and intimacy that unfolds over time. Think about that iconic scene where Monica confronts Alan about his infidelity. Tears streaming down her face, her voice trembling with a mix of anger and heartbreak. You could feel the raw emotion in that moment, and it resonated with viewers who had experienced similar betrayals in their own lives.
Now that you mention it, I remember watching that episode. Even though it was fictional, it felt so real and relatable. It's like soap operas have this unique ability to tap into our deepest emotions and make us feel seen and understood.
And let's not forget that Monica's life wasn't just about romantic drama. She faced some incredibly difficult challenges. There was the breast cancer storyline where she had to navigate the physical and emotional toll of the disease. And then there were those constantly shifting family dynamics. Rivalries, secrets, betrayals, the whole shebang. These storylines weren't just there for shock value. They were carefully crafted to explore real-world issues and connect with viewers on a personal level.
I think that's one of the things that makes soap operas so powerful, right? They provide a space for viewers to process difficult experiences and find comfort in knowing they're not alone. Did you have any favorite Monica moments or storylines? I'm curious to hear what resonated most with you.
Oh, there were so many. But one that sticks out for me, at least, is Monica's struggle to accept AJ as Alan's son. Here was this woman, a pillar of strength and grace, wrestling with this complicated family dynamic. It showed a different, more vulnerable side to her, and reminded viewers that even the most composed characters have their own internal battles.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And it speaks to Charleson's range as an actress, doesn't it? She could portray strength and vulnerability in equal measure, making Monica a truly well-rounded and relatable character. Plus, it brought up issues of family loyalty, forgiveness, and acceptance. Themes that resonated with a lot of people.
It definitely tapped into those universal struggles. And speaking of universal struggles, you mentioned earlier the storyline where Monica faced breast cancer. Do you remember how that particular storyline resonated with you?
Absolutely. It was incredibly powerful and moving. I remember feeling this sense of fear and uncertainty for Monica, but also admiration for her strength and resilience.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the way the show handled the storyline with sensitivity and realism helped to break down stigmas surrounding breast cancer and open up important conversations.
Right. Soap operas, despite being fictional, can have a real impact on how we perceive and deal with sensitive topics. The article we have even mentions how Charleson received letters from fans who shared their own experiences with breast cancer, thanking her for portraying the struggle so authentically.
That's amazing. It's like the line between fiction and reality blurs a bit, and the characters become almost like real people in our lives. We celebrate their triumphs. We mourn their losses and we learn from their experiences.
And don't forget, this was all happening against the backdrop of an evolving medical landscape. Think about it. Monica started out as a cardiologist in the late 70s. Over the course of her career, she would have witnessed incredible advancements in medical technology and treatment, new procedures, ethical dilemmas, the rise of managed care. All those changes happening in the real world found their way into General Hospital, reflecting the times and adding another layer of depth to the storytelling.
It makes you wonder how Charleson approached those changes as an actress. Did she do research to stay up to date on medical advancements? Did she consult with medical professionals to ensure authenticity in her portrayal? I'm guessing those details aren't explicitly covered in the article, but it's fascinating to think about the work that went on behind the scenes.
Right. And it highlights the dedication required for such a long-running role. It's not just about memorizing lines. It's about constantly learning, evolving, and finding ways to keep the character fresh and relevant over decades.
Speaking of staying relevant, I think it's worth noting the elephant in the room, the changing landscape of daytime television itself. We've seen a decline in soap opera viewership over the years, with the rise of cable streaming services and on-demand entertainment.
It's definitely a different world from when Charleson first stepped onto the General Hospital set. But amidst all these changes, soap operas have managed to endure, albeit in a somewhat altered form. They've had to adapt to new viewing habits, shorter attention spans, and evolving storytelling techniques. And I think Charleson's longevity in the industry speaks to her adaptability and her ability to connect with audiences across generations.
For sure, she was a master of her craft and seemed to navigate those industry shifts with grace and resilience. It's like she understood the enduring power of soap operas, even as the world around them was changing.
And part of that enduring power lies in the long-running characters themselves, wouldn't you say? In a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable, these characters offer a sense of stability and familiarity. They become anchors in our lives, touchstones for our own experiences, and sources of comfort and connection.
Think about it. For many viewers, Monica was there with them through major life events, personal milestones, and even global upheavals. She was a constant presence, a familiar face in a world that was constantly changing.
Exactly. And Charleson, through her portrayal of Monica, embodied that sense of constancy and resilience. She brought warmth, empathy, and a touch of humor to the role, creating a character that felt like a friend, a confidant, even a member of the family.
And that brings us to the fascinating intersection of actor and character, the theme we touched upon earlier. Over the course of 5 decades, how much of Charleson's own personality seeped into Monica? And conversely, how much did playing Monica shape Charleson's own worldview and approach to life?
That's a great question, and one we can only speculate on. But what's clear is that Charleson brought a certain authenticity and depth to the role, a quality that resonated with viewers and made Monica feel like a real person.
Absolutely. And it makes you wonder about her off-screen life, her relationships, her passions outside of acting. The article mentions her reputation for being warm and generous, a mentor to younger actors, and a true fan favorite. Does that surprise you, given her portrayal of Monica?
Not at all. It seems like the qualities that made Monica so beloved, her kindness, her strength, her ability to connect with people, were reflections of Charleson's own personality. It's like those lines between fiction and reality blurred not in a confusing way, but in a way that enhanced the character and deepened our appreciation for the actress.
And that's something truly special, right? When an actor can embody a character so fully that it becomes difficult to separate the two, it speaks to a level of artistry and dedication that's truly remarkable.
It really does, and it makes me think about the impact Charleson had on the soap opera industry as a whole. She wasn't just an actress. She was a trailblazer, a role model for aspiring performers, and a testament to the enduring power of daytime drama.
And her legacy continues to inspire both within the industry and among the countless viewers whose lives she touched. It's a reminder that storytelling has the power to transcend time, connect generations, and leave an imprint on the world long after the final credits roll.
Beautifully said. And I think that's a perfect note to end on for now. We'll be back after a short break to wrap up our deep dive into the remarkable life and legacy of Leslie Charleson. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. It's time to bring our deep dives into the world of Leslie Charleson and the enduring legacy of soap operas to a close.
It feels like we've just scratched the surface, though, doesn't it? There are so many more fascinating facets to explore, from the evolution of soap operas to the cultural impact of long-running characters like Monica Quartermaine.
Yeah, we could easily spend another hour dissecting the nuances of her most memorable storylines, analyzing her acting techniques, and debating the social and cultural significance of General Hospital. But for now, let's shift gears a bit and consider what Charleson's legacy means for us, the viewers. What lessons can we take away from her career, from her portrayal of Monica, and from the world of soap operas as a whole?
Well, I think one of the biggest takeaways is the power of empathy. Soap operas at their core are about human connection. They invite us to step into the lives of others to experience their joys and sorrows, and to develop a deeper understanding of the complexities of human relationships.
And Charleson, through her nuanced and heartfelt performance, as Monica embodied that sense of empathy beautifully. She wasn't just playing a character, she was inhabiting a life, with all its messy, complicated, and ultimately deeply human aspects.
It's like she was inviting us to walk a mile in Monica's shoes to feel her pain, to celebrate her triumphs and to learn from her mistakes. And in doing so, she expanded our own capacity for empathy and understanding.
For sure. It's like she was saying, look, life is messy, relationships are complicated, and we all make mistakes. But through it all, there's this underlying current of humanity that connects us all.
Exactly. And that message, I think, is more relevant than ever in today's world, where we're often bombarded with negativity, division, and judgment. Soap operas, despite their often dramatic storylines, remind us that at the end of the day, we're all just trying to navigate this crazy thing called life, and we could all use a little more compassion and understanding.
Couldn't agree more. And I think Charleson's own life, both on and off screen, exemplified those values. Remember how the article highlighted her warmth, her generosity, and her willingness to mentor younger actors? Those qualities shone through in her portrayal of Monica and made her a beloved figure, both within the industry and among fans.
Right. It's almost like she was living proof that kindness and compassion are just as important as talent and ambition. And her legacy, I believe, will continue to inspire both aspiring actors and anyone seeking to make a positive impact on the world.
So as we wrap up our deep dive, I'd like to leave you with one final thought. If Leslie Charleson were here with us today, what do you think she would say about the state of soap operas? Would she be optimistic about their future, concerned about the challenges they face?
That's a fascinating question to ponder. Based on everything we've learned about her, I believe she would approach the topic with a blend of realism and hope. She would acknowledge the evolving landscape of entertainment, the changing viewing habits, and the need for soap operas to adapt and innovate to stay relevant.
But at the same time, I think she would emphasize the enduring power of storytelling, the importance of human connection, and the unique ability of soap operas to explore complex themes and reflect the realities of our lives.
Absolutely. She would remind us that while the delivery mechanisms may change, from broadcast television to streaming platforms, the core elements that make soap operas compelling remain timeless. Love, loss, betrayal, redemption, family, and the eternal quest for happiness and fulfillment.
Beautifully said. And on that note, I think it's time to bid farewell to the remarkable world of Leslie Charleson and the captivating allure of soap operas. But before we sign off, let's leave our listeners with a little homework, shall we?
I love it. What do you have in mind?
If you could create your own soap opera character, what qualities would they have? What challenges would they face? What would make them unforgettable? Let your imagination run wild and see what kind of captivating character you can dream up.
That's a great challenge for our listeners. It encourages them to tap into their own creativity and explore the boundless possibilities of storytelling. Who knows, maybe we'll have some future soap opera writers in our midst.
And with that, we'll bring this deep dive to a close. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration and discovery. We hope you've gained a deeper appreciation for the artistry of Leslie Charleson, the enduring appeal of soap operas, and the power of storytelling to connect us all.